Hi, everybody, and welcome to the first installment of Pop Culture Parables, where we find the truth of the Bible through stories you already may know. Our first parable is all about one of my very favorites, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or as it's known here in the U.S., the Sorcerer's Stone. The Sorcerer's Stone begins with Hagrid meeting Professor McGonagall and Professor Dumbledore to drop baby Harry off with his aunt and uncle. Some traumatic events have just occurred. Harry's parents have actually passed, and the Dursley family is Harry's closest relatives. After being mistreated by the Dursleys for 10 years, Harry notices he is different and strange things sometimes occur around him. Right around the time Harry turns 11 years old, he receives a letter in the mail from Hogwarts School. Uncle Vernon quickly takes this letter away from him, but letters keep showing up. Eventually, the whole living room is full of letters. After this happens, Uncle Vernon takes the family away, and shortly after that, Hagrid busts down the door to rescue Harry. Hagrid has some very good news.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Hagrid then gives Harry the letter that the Dursleys have kept trying to take from him. The letter states that Harry has been accepted to Hogwarts School. In fact, Hagrid says Harry has been accepted to Hogwarts since before he was born. Hagrid then leaves and tells Harry he can come with him to school or he can stay with the Dursleys. But ultimately, it is up to Harry to decide what he wants to do. Just like Harry, we can all feel disconnected. The good news tries to reach us, and for some, we learn it when we're young. But for others, it can take a while for it to reach us. But luckily for Harry, he has Hagrid, and most of us have someone in our life like that, who kicks open a door and brings the good news to us. In 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 17, it says, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come. The old has gone, the new is here." When we receive this good news, however, it is ultimately up to us whether or not we want to follow it. But if we choose to follow it or not, it does not change the fact that we have been accepted since before we were born into God's family. In Ephesians chapter 1, verse 4, it says, "Even as he chose us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and blameless before him." Harry then decides to follow Hagrid, and Hagrid takes him to Diagon Alley. It is here that Harry gets his first experience of what the wizarding world is like. Harry feels a bit of a culture shock between the goblins and Gringotts, choosing a wand in Ollivanders, and seeing items on display in the shop windows that he has never heard of or seen before. The culture shock continues for Harry after they are done at Diagon Alley, and Hagrid gives him a ticket for his train to school. The ticket says he needs to go to platform 9 3/4. This, of course, confuses Harry, because there is no platform 9 3/4 in the train station. He looks around, he doesn't see anything that says that on the signs. He even asked one of the employees that works there if he could show him where to go, and the employee has no idea what he's talking about. But luckily for Harry, he then runs into the Weasley family. Mrs. Weasley explains to Harry that he has to run through platforms 9 and 10 in order to reach the train to Hogwarts. So thanks to Mrs. Weasley, Harry eventually makes it onto the train to Hogwarts. While on the train, Harry meets his new friends, Ron and Hermione. Once the students get to the school, they are all escorted into the Great Hall. It is here that they're going to be sorted into different houses. The houses at Hogwarts are kind of like the families within the students. The 4 houses are Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin. Harry, Ron, and Hermione are all sorted into Gryffindor. After they're sorted, they sit down at the Great Hall and enjoy a meal with their new family. When we go to a new church, or maybe we even go to a church for the first time, we can feel like a bunch of first years walking into the Great Hall with a bunch of eyes staring at us. But once we begin serving and growing in community, it becomes a family. Harry always felt disconnected and felt like there was something missing in his life. But Hagrid broke down that door and brought him the good news. Harry did experience a bit of a culture shock when he first entered this world, but thanks to his new friends, he was able to understand and take a place in the wizarding world. If you are already a member of the Christian family, be like Hagrid and Mrs. Weasley and help those new believers start out on their journey. Or if you feel like a first year, walking into the Great Hall with a bunch of eyes staring at you, get sorted and find your place within the church. Or if you're like Harry and you don't feel like you belong, look for the Hagrid, Mrs. Weasley, Ron, and Hermione in your life, and view this video as a letter from an owl. an invitation to a life where you truly belong. So that's it. That is part 1 of the Sorcerer's Stone in our new pop culture parable series. Part 2 of Sorcerer's Stone will be coming out next week. But until then, comment below. Let us know if there's anything that we missed, if there's anything in the first part of the Harry Potter movie that can correlate to a biblical parable. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And thank you so much for your support already. Down below is our social media accounts, so you can go ahead and follow us on there. We always post some fun things throughout the week. And thank you all so much for watching this video. You are loved.